Hi there, my name's Chloe. I'm Resident Activities Manager here at the YMCA Milton Keynes. I've been working with Worktree to do a 6 weeks Action Learning for Employability course for our unemployed young people here at the YMCA. So the aim of the course is really to help our young people get employment. We have kind of two elements to it. One is the Action Learning for Employability sets, and these sets give us a chance for the young people to look at their strengths and weaknesses and find out what they need to improve on. We also have career workout sessions, which is where young people, different employers come in to speak to the young people about work and about what they do for a living.
The career workout is pretty much like speed dating. We take in employers from the world of work to be interviewed by the students.
See, they say when we started the course, get a job within 25 conversations. And basically what that means is the more you speak to employers, the more likely you are to get employed.
I think what's worked best is getting the residents here to experience meeting people that they haven't met before in these short conversations that we do with this career workout. They've shown that once they're eye to eye with people they don't know, generally, because they have to be in that conversation, they're quite accountable for it. They do, despite having anxiety issues, despite having depression perhaps, despite not having done it before, not having met that many people in an eye-to-eye, a really accountable conversation, they've actually done very well with it.
It's been engaging, you know, there's a definite sense of talk, because that's an emphasis, you know, because you need to talk to employees, you need to take the steps, you need to, you know, action.
One that was very interested in what they want to do and they could relate to me and started asking more and more questions how he can go about to reach his target.
One of the things that was said to me in feedback is if I'd have come in uniform, I would have been ignored completely. But the fact that I came in and I came across as just an ordinary person.
As you could see as they were going around the circle, how much more confident they were getting at asking questions and listening to answers and responding with more in-depth questions.
Being in that course, it's helped me to come forward and actually talk to strangers a lot better than what I would normally. Obviously because of Worktree, I've managed to get myself a couple of days work here and there, and I'm getting myself onto an apprenticeship with electrical engineering, and obviously, like I said before, if it wasn't for Worktree, I wouldn't have been able to do this.
Gives them the idea that they can, with confidence, talk to people in a normal way when you meet people and ask them some straightforward questions of interest to you.
The certificate means that I've successfully completed Worktree, and it means that I've had 15 conversations and I've had a silver award. I'm very happy about this.
It's really interesting for me to see the young people kind of develop. I've learnt that often young people will find it difficult to do something initially, and I've learnt that with perseverance, with adapting kind of learning styles and techniques, the young people are actually able to achieve, and they are able to do things that they wouldn't normally think they could do before, such as speak to employers.
So the most effective part of the course in many ways was taking an individual to meet with someone from the world of work who they had asked to go and see. So one individual wanted to look at being a tattoo artist. So taking them to see a tattoo artist gave them a sense not just of value that they wanted to see the tattoo artist, but also trust in the person who took them there and made arrangements for that. We had similar with somebody who wanted a job in McDonald's, went to speak to the manager of McDonald's. That afternoon, the young person filled in an application form and was asked to an interview. Yeah, an action learning set is where a group meets regularly. So for us, it was going to be 3 weeks running. And each time, each member of the group presents an issue that's blocking them, in this case to do with getting a job. And so they present an issue, and those in the group then would ask them open questions about it, being very careful not to give advice or tell their own stories. And the individual at the end of a round of maybe 15 minutes of doing that would resolve a couple of action points they're going to take between now and next week, and then someone else in the group takes their turn of presenting their issue. So we ran that for 3 weeks with mixed results.
I think it was good because a lot of people want to give advice, but the whole point was not to, just to take it on board. That's important for me because there's a lot of emphasis on conversation happening quick and snappy back and forth. But a lot of people aren't given enough time to just let it soak in and then think about it and then give their reply and not give advice and just listen.
Some of the residents, it was better to take them actually out one-to-one to go and see the employers. So for one resident, for example, I took them to Ringway in Milton Keynes just for a chat and a coffee. So there was no pressure. It was quite challenging for that particular resident who was very anxious about going. Actually got to the front door, said he wasn't going in, wasn't going to do it, managed to get him to sign in, literally went in and had a coffee and a chat. From that coffee and chat, they offered him a placement for 2 weeks, which was fantastic.
It's helped me to understand what I really want to do, and I've started getting into electronics and the electrical engineering side of things. They actually helped me get a couple of weeks work experience through a company called Ringway. And if it wasn't for them doing what they do, I wouldn't even have that opportunity.
The good thing about Worktree is that it gives young people great opportunity to find the job they really want, and gives them an easy way to talk to people.
I think this course required quite a lot of discipline, and I think we assumed that by meeting different people from the world of work, the individual, whoever they were, whatever difficulties they'd had in their life, would automatically become more confident in their own self-discipline and start to exercise that. What we found, in fact, was that because some of the issues that the young people face, there are so many barriers to them actually being as disciplined as was required by the course. And whenever we tried to impose the discipline, it started feeling just like school for them. And for some of them, given that probably all of them have had bad experiences at school, for some of them that was just too much, and then it was hard for them to not just keep the discipline but even keep showing up. So I think in a way the biggest challenge was the changing group we had. So it was hard to come alongside those that were finding it hard to be disciplined, because they might not be there next week, or they might be there the following week, but there'd be someone else there the following week. So we aimed to start with 12. I think we started with 14 or 15. We ended up working with 21 altogether, and there were resource implications for that. And the biggest issue really being that without continuity, without our being able to develop that trust in a continuous line, it was very hard to build up the self-discipline that was required. If you're going to have different clients coming in and going out, then the activity that you're offering needs to be very similar each week and enable people to come in and come out so that it's just valuable in its own right. It's very easy to understand, so a newcomer who wasn't there last week can quickly see what's going on, quickly see the value in it, and crucially not need to have been there last time in order to benefit from this time. Yeah, I think there's a risk with funded courses that if the funder requires certain paperwork, which is understandable why they want that, but what doesn't always get understood is the cost of investing in that paperwork at the start with the individual who really wants a trusting relationship. And when the relationship starts on paper, so let's sit down, before we do anything else, can you fill in this individual learning plan? Without the trust being there to start with, the young person's already starting to think a few things like, this is not my agenda, this is someone else's. It's got a lot of words on the page. In many cases, they don't really want to interact with the written word. And a sense that, well, I've been told to come here, I've been told I've got to give some information about myself. I don't even know this person yet. It doesn't start things on the right step. And really what we have to do is find a way to get the individual into trust as soon as possible.